Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Suddhaspadiga Sankasham Shuddha Vidya Pradayakam Shuddham Purnam Chidanandam Sadashivamaham Shraye Shankarupena Machittam Pankikritam Abhodhyaya Kimkari Yasya Samaya Shankaracharya Mashraye Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Bharathi Karuna Patram Bharathi Padabhushanam Bharathi Padamaru Bharati Tirthamashraye Vidya Vinaya Sampannam Vitaragam Vivekinam Vande Vedanta Tattvabodha Vidhushekara Bharati Mala Sudha Kumbha Vibhoda Mudra Vidya Virajat Karavari Jatam Apara Karunya Sudham Purashim Sri Sharadambam Pranatosmi Nityam Om Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Bhidhiyate. In continuation with Karana Shariram, we have to see nature of causal body and the cause of the causal body today. Because in the last session we saw the function and condition of the Karana Shariram, causal body. What is the nature of Karana Shariram? Author says Sat Swarupa Ajnanam. In the last session we saw the Karana Shariram will be existent before the creation or after the dissolution of the universe. Therefore, in causal body form, the differences between subject, object, knower and known will not be recognizable. Thus, duality, subject-object duality will not be recognizable in Karana Avastha. Sorry. Now, when everything is visible, when everything is recognizable in Vyakta Rupam, we are able to clearly differentiate that I am the subject, you are the object, you are the knower and all those. Now, it is clearly visible at this stage. But in the Karana Avastha, these differences are not recognizable. Since knower-known duality is not recognizable, you cannot talk about any knowledge. That is, the knower-known division is not recognizable in Karana Avastha. Therefore, there is no possibility of any form of knowledge. Because for any knowledge to take place, there should be clear distinction between the subject, object, instrument, mind, etc. For example, if you are learning Tattvabodha, this knowledge is taking place because I am talking through my mouth, which is the organ of action, karmendriyam, and you are listening through your jnanendriyam, ears, that is organ of knowledge. You are using your mind. So many instruments are at work, that is the subject, object, mind, instruments, intellect, sense organs, all of them are there, and therefore we can talk about knowledge. When there is no such distinction, there cannot be any knowledge, because nature of that state is, it is total ignorance. It is a state of ajnanam, pure ignorance, because the infrastructure for the knowledge to take place is absent. Therefore, Karana Shariram, the nature of Karana Shariram is that which consists of ignorance. Ignorance of Sat Swarupaha. Ignorance of the real nature of everything. Because everything is in dissolved condition. The knowing instrument is also dissolved. Therefore, it is the nature of total blanket ignorance. That is why in research of cosmology, they were trying to find out what was the condition before the Big Bang that took place. What caused the Big Bang? What was the reason? And what was the condition before the Big Bang? They found they are not able to understand that condition at all. Not only they concluded that they are not able to find out, they are not able to understand, they also concluded that they will never be able to understand in future also about the condition that was existing before the Big Bang. They defined that singularity as a state of no information, whereas in our Shastra we define that state as state of ajnanam or state of ignorance. So this is the nature of Karana Shariram, blanket ignorance. Because the duality between subject and object is not there. It is like in an ocean, you see plain water, sheet of water. Wherever you see, there will be water. Rivers like Ganges, Godavari, Kaveri, all those rivers merge into this ocean. Once they all merge into the ocean, can we distinguish this portion of the sea is Kaveri river, this portion is Godavari? All those distinctions, once the rivers have merged into the ocean, it is not possible at all. It is all water. So it is like that state. Near example we gave. That's it. There is no differences. You cannot distinguish. That is the nature of Karana Shariram. Now we will go to cause of the causal body. What is the cause of causal body? The author says that the question itself is wrong, because by definition Karana Shariram is the root cause of everything, and being the root cause of everything, it is never a product. Everything is born out of Karana Shariram, but Karana Shariram itself is not born out of anything. Causeless cause. Anadihi. It is beginningless cause. It is Anadi Karana Shariram. Why it is beginningless? Because it is not a product. Then you may ask a question, why it is not a product? Because it is beginningless. It is the root cause of everything. This Anadi Karana Shariram is given a technical name, Mula Vidya, Mula Avidya or Mula Vidya. The word Avidya is highly technical one. I am not going to the details of this technical word Avidya. Let us note this much. That is, Karana Shariram has another name which is Mula Avidya or Mula Vidya. Avidya, we can say. Because it is the root cause, it is Mula Vidya. It has other names also. Karana Shariram, Mula Vidya has other names. What are they? Maya, then Prakritihi, Avyaktam, Shakti. We already saw Mula Vidya. So all these are the names for causal body. All are synonymous. Of all these names, author has used one word, Anadi Avidya Rupam. That is the cause of causal body. Therefore, what is the cause of Karana Shariram? It is causeless. It is causeless cause of all the Sharirams of the universe. All these facts are mentioned by Lord Krishna very casually. In Bhagavad Gita, you refer to chapter 13, 19th verse particularly. He says, Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidhyanadi Ubhavapi Vikaramscha Gunamschaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. Prakriti is using the word Prakriti. This is about Karana Shariram. The author has used one more word in the slokam which defines what Karana Shariram is. That word is Anirvachya. What is Anirvachya? It is another word for Mithya. It is also another technical word. Anirvachya is a technical word. Like Maya, like Avidya, we saw. So it is another word for Mithya. What is Mithya? We have already seen some classes before. Atma is Satyam, Tadanyat Sarvam, Anatma. Anatma, all Anatmas are Mithya. Satyam is that which has got independent existence. Mithya is that which does not have independent existence, which exists because of borrowed existence, dependent existence, which is Mithya. If we take an example, a clay pot. A clay has got, in this example of clay pot, clay has independent existence. That is, clay was there before the pot is made, and during the existence of clay pot, clay continues to exist. After the pot is broken into pieces, clay still exists in broken pieces. Only the forms will be different. Whereas the pot, you cannot imagine the clay pot without the raw material clay. Remove the clay mentally, you cannot have pot. So pot does not exist. Therefore, in this example, clay is independent existent and pot is dependently existent. That is dependent on clay. Without clay, pot cannot exist. Whereas without pot, clay will continue to exist. In this example, this is the difference between Satyam and Mithya. Anatma is Mithya. All Anatmas are Mithya. Another word the author has introduced here is Anirvachyam. That's all. The entire Anatma Prapancha is Anirvachyam, Mithya. This means, you remember we have said about 11 classification, 11 items are Anatmas are there. Mithya, all of them are Mithya. Therefore, all those 11 items can be called Anirvachyam. What are those 11 items which we saw long time back? Shariratrayam, threefold bodies. Kosha Panchakam, fivefold physiological nature. And Avasthatrayam, threefold experiences. So 3 plus 5 plus 3 state of experience. So 11. Therefore, the word Anirvachya, author has added only in Karana Shariram. But we can always add this Anirvachyam to all the 11 items. That is, Stula Shariram is Anirvachyam, Sukshma Sharirams are Anirvachyam, and Kosha Panchakams are Anirvachyam. All of them are Anirvachyam. This Karana Shariram, by its very definition, will exist only before the creation of this universe or after the dissolution of the universe. Because Karana Shariram being the root cause, being the seed, it must be there before the creation of the Jagat. Or when this whole creation is dissolved, there will be Karana Shariram. Therefore, there is no way of seeing the Karana Shariram. There is no way of experiencing the Karana Shariram. After all, we can see the Stula Shariram, we can perceive the Sukshma Shariram, but can we see Karana Shariram? The answer is no, we cannot see Karana Shariram. Can we experience the Karana Shariram? Yes, we can experience the Karana Shariram, but in miniature form. Let's see what it is. Because the Karana Shariram was existent before the creation. So if you want to experience or if you want to see it, you have to go back to the age where the creation started. Like, they show in the movies, flashback. No? You have to go back. It is not possible for us. So otherwise you have to wait until Pralayam to come. That also is not possible. We don't know when the Pralayam will come. Therefore, really speaking, Karana Shariram must be there before creation or after dissolution. But our Shastra says that if you want to get a taste of this Karana Shariram, how it will be, can I experience, how it would have been before creation of this Jagat or after the dissolution of the universe. Supposing you have a desire to know, you have a desire to experience the state of Karana Shariram, you will get a model of Karana Shariram now itself. Just as before construction of any new building, they will have a miniature model. When you go to buy that new flat, they will explain, this is the living room, this is the kitchen and all those things. They can explain with the miniature model. Can you guess what will be that model for Karana Shariram? You get it very often, very easily and very regularly you get. That is, whenever you go to sleep, you get an experience of Karana Shariram, deep sleep state. That is a state where there is no dream. The Stula Shariram, physical body, is as though dissolved in your sleep, because you are not aware of the existence of your own physical body when you are fast asleep. We can say sleep is a miniature model of the dissolution of physical body. Not that actually your body has dissolved, it is very much there, but it is as though dissolved. Because you don't experience the presence of physical body. Similarly, at the time of deep sleep, your subtle body also is as though dissolved. It is very much working, it is very much there, but it is as though dissolved. Because none of the indriyams, jnanendriyam, karmendriyam, nothing, they are not working, they are all resolved. They do not function like ears, eyes, mouth. Nothing is functioning. They are all resolved, as good as dissolved. Your emotions, all your knowledge which you have, your ego function, everything is as though dissolved. That is, you are not even aware of the fact that you are asleep while sleeping. You can never say that I am sleeping while sleeping. If you say I am asleep, that means you are not sleeping at all. Correct? Therefore, the individual sleep state is a miniature version of Pralayam, because Shastra calls it Laya. Layaha means miniature version of Pralayaha. Pralayam means dissolution of the whole universe. Layaha is as though dissolution of individual body. When you are asleep, when you are in the deep sleep state, the world, the physical world, your physical body, your knowledge, your sense organs, none of them are functioning. Subject-object duality is also not there. All your knowledge is as good as dissolved. Therefore, there is total blanket ignorance. Whatever we saw in Karana Shariram, all of them are here. That is Tat Swarupa Ajnanam, Nirvikalpaka Rupam. All of them we saw. Therefore, sleep is given an example for recognizing, experiencing the Karana Shariram. But the actual Karana Shariram will be available only in Pralaya Avastha. It will not be available in any other. Only during Pralaya Avastha, Karana Shariram will be there. But when we are alive, every day when we go to sleep, that will be a miniature model, how it will be. You can visualize the Karana Shariram. So this is about Karana Shariram. Bit heavy subject, but we have to keep listening, keep reading the text to get a grip of this Karana Shariram. Because it is the most subtle of the three bodies. Physical body is gross. Subtle body is subtle. Karana Shariram is most subtle. It is most difficult to understand also. We have seen Stula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram and Karana Shariram. We saw the condition, cause, function, nature of Stula Shariram and Karana Shariram. Sukshma Shariram, we saw these four factors. In addition to these four, we also saw the constituents of subtle body. 17 elements we saw. So we have completed the first group of Anatma, Sharira Trayam, Stula, Sukshma, Karana Shariram. We have already completed. The other 8 Anatmas, we will see in the subsequent classes. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.